Ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you exclusively by the Reality Check Podcast Network.
Hey guys, Rad Rob here from the RadTurtlesWrestling Podcast, Wrestling with Reality, and the Reality Check Podcast Network. I just want to tell you a little about MyBookie. I don't know about you guys, but for me, a game is 10 times more exciting when I'm putting my money on it. Sometimes I have a gut feeling about a matchup, and sometimes I'm just betting on my team because, well, they're my team. Regardless, whether you've been betting for years or you're ready to play for the first time, MyBookie is your best bet this season. If you're the kind of guy who likes to bet a little to win a lot, try a parlay. For instance, if you like a couple of the big favorites this week, parlays are perfect because they let you bet multiple games together for a much bigger payout. So if you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag because no one gives you more ways to win. With pro football, college football, MLB playoffs, hockey and basketball in full swing, now is the time to get off the sidelines and get in on the action. If you really want to support your team this season, don't just sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with mybookie.ag. And if you join right now, MyBookie has a special offer for you. They will double your first deposit. All you have to do is use the promo code REALIST to activate the offer. That's promo code REALEST to double your cash. So please visit mybookie.ag today. We'd like to thank mybookie.ag for supporting the Reality Check Podcast Network. That's mybookie.ag. You bet, you win, they pay. Welcome everybody to the RTW Raw review. Rad Rob and Jonny podcasting break down everything Monday Night Raw, giving you the most in-depth, cutting-edge, comprehensive coverage than any other podcast out there. Now, without further ado, let's introduce your hosts of the show, Rad Rob, Rob Francois, and Jonny podcasting, John Wangland. Hey guys, welcome back to the Rad Turtles Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 4 of your RTW Monday Night Raw review show. I am your host, as always, Rad Rob, Rob Francois, along with Mr. No Days Off. Well, he took today off, but hey, it's still Jonny podcasting.
Oh, what's up, buddy? It's good to be here. It's a rainy day, fall day out here in New York. Life is good, man. Can't complain about anything. Glad to be here with you. Glad to talk some wrestling, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Things couldn't be better right now. Baby's sick. That's the only thing we got going on right now. She's got some kind of a virus, so that's been fun the last 24 hours. But other than that, man, we've had a good few days. We've had a really good last week here since switching over to Transistor. So I'm excited for our future. And I'm excited for the fact that people are really digging our show still. And we continue to grow every single week. And that's nothing but positive reinforcement that we're doing good things here on RTW and on the Reality Check Podcast Network.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And, we're really grateful for that, for the great listeners over here. And we'll spill some good news at the end of the show today to everybody. For everybody, it's a really cool opportunity that we were presented. And we look forward to sharing this journey with everybody and going along this next big step for everything. So we're really honored that everybody has helped us get to this level. So couldn't do it without our great fans, and we're going to keep putting out better product every week on all the shows on the network here.
Yes, we are. And real quickly, before we get into Monday Night Raw, it's kind of cool, like the global reach that we're seeing right now with getting our proper analytics, which we weren't getting on our previous servers. But dude, I'm looking at your map over here. Like you have downloads in South Africa, Nigeria, Spain, France, Norway, Bulgaria. That one just popped up today. Iran, India, New Zealand, Australia, obviously the U.S. and Canada. But man, it's really cool, like, to see the map and look at how many countries are listening to our shows.
That's awesome, man.
That's pretty crazy. Man. We're a worldwide global force.
And that's only in the last 4 days since we did the switch over there. So that's pretty awesome there with everybody.
It is.
Welcome to all of our great listeners from across the world here. I think since we started doing this here, I think we're over 100 countries now in total since our first platform that we used to where we're at now with everything. So, we got, I think, 62 more to go, and we'll go across the world there. So thanks to everybody in all the other countries listening. It's a real honor and pleasure that you guys choose to listen to us for your wrestling needs, and keep spreading the word for us. And we had a great interview with Brad Shepard, man.
We did. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was about to mention that. Brad Shepard from Pro Sports Extra was glad enough and happy enough to come on with us for Wrestling with Reality this past weekend. And we had such a great time talking to him. He's such a like-minded individual when it comes to how we all feel about wrestling today. And it was just it's really cool, man. He's got great fans. He's got a hell of a following. So we're very happy to talk to him. He definitely got us some extra listens that we wouldn't normally get. Opened us to a new crowd that hadn't heard of us. So it was fun, man. I love talking to Brad. He's a great guy.
Yeah, really great guy, man. I'm a fan of Brad's work and his stuff that he does. Very entertaining guy, super class act, gets a real bad rap like certain things you see with people. Very, very misunderstood due to a very husky podcaster out there that is one of the most disgraceful human beings on the face of this earth, Matt Kuhn, with the bullshit that he would spout out. And we don't even talk about it on the show. And, of course, Kuhn likes to go off and make snide comments about us and Brad. And, what I say is, hey, man, go be totally disengaged over on your end because nobody listens to your stuff because you're a cancer and you're a jerk. And Brad, is a really open guy and an honest guy, and he's got great opinions on the business and nothing but a class act. And he's doing great things on his show, the You Didn't Know wrestling show, and his writing that he does. And it was a blast to just talk to him. And we'll definitely be doing it again. And man, I got nothing but great feedback from everybody, like new listeners, people that haven't heard our shows before, because that's the beauty of podcasting is that when you collaborate with a couple of people out there, and there's a couple of other shows that have hit me up that want to do some collaboration in the next few weeks, and we're going to be doing some of that too. We'll get going and bring some of their stuff on and, different things. And we're always game for that, man. So it's nice to get, their audience over to listen to some of our stuff and that they enjoy it like we enjoy listening to them. And we hope our audience will go over and listen to their stuff if they've never heard of them before too. So it's a win-win, man. We're always about collaboration with good people.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely right on that one. So we really appreciate Brad speaking with us. So if you guys want to check that out, it's over on the Wrestling with Reality feed. I will try to get him here on RTW here in the next couple of months. I'm pretty sure he'd be down to do that.
Absolutely.
He had a good time talking with us as well. So.
Oh, yeah. The first of many times.
Yeah. And our RTW flagship show, our last flagship show this past weekend, has done really, really good numbers. It was longer. I mean, it was back to 3 hours. I know we've been trying to keep our formats shorter and all that, but Dean and I were just in such a zone when we recorded Saturday morning that we had such engaging conversation as opposed to our other shows, and people are really, really digging that. I've got nothing but overwhelming responses for that too. So thanks to everybody that enjoyed that show. That is the
show.
Dean Galloway. Yeah, thank you. That is the Dean Galloway that I said was going to be coming. It just took him a couple weeks to get his feet underneath him and start getting traction and really get in the zone. And man, was he in the zone.
Yeah, he was on fire on that one, man. It was some great stuff, and you guys had a really great banter on that one. It got a little heated a few times. I kind of wish I was on that call there for just to listen to it live for a few of it, because we've only had a few times where we really get hot at each other on something, not in a bad way, but where we'll just be having complete disagreement. That's the beauty of it. Nobody wants to hear the same cookie cutter shit all the time. You want to hear discussion and people that talk it out. That's what it was. Definitely a heated episode. It was a really great listen, man. And we're doing everything we can on the shows to put out great listens for you guys every week, and we're going to continue to do it. And we got some other projects that we'll talk about later, but we got some other shows that we're going to be putting out here over the next month too. So it's we're excited for it, man. We have a great listener base, and we look forward to expanding it out. And just it's because of the great people that are out there, man, and we really appreciate it. We're just a couple of fans that go out there and love what we do and love talking to you guys and love doing these shows. And that's enough about us, man. We'll show you the goods with what we've been doing and what we're going to continue to do.
Yep, we'll definitely have a huge announcement, a game-changing announcement at the end of the show, so stick around for that. But yeah, So yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand. Let's get to what everybody here is to talk about and listen about. It's what John and I thought about this week's Monday Night Raw. So we start off the show with a highlight package from last week of Seth Rollins literally burning the Firefly Funhouse down to the ground. I still get goosebumps when I see Bray Wyatt kind of bow up to Seth and go, "Seth, why are you doing this to me, man?" I mean, that just still like is one of the most genius things I've ever seen when it comes to character development in wrestling. Like, he truly is a schizophrenic, and that Funhouse Bray doesn't really know why Seth Rollins is mad at him. And he knows he has a problem with the Fiend, but to him, he's not the Fiend. The Fiend is a separate person. It's, goddamn, it's such genius of Wyndham Rotunda, the real man that's behind the character. And what I really, 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 really do not like now with the draft is Bray Wyatt is on SmackDown. And obviously he couldn't get any retribution this week on Raw. We got an announcement during the show later on that the Funhouse will be returning on SmackDown, but Seth can't be there. So I know we have it'll be a week from this Thursday as we're recording here on Monday night, or Tuesday. A week from this coming Thursday will be the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, but they're not going to be able to touch again, according to the draft rules. So they kind of really dropped the ball by, you know what I mean? They could have done a trade, or they could have done, Drew to Raw for now until after the pay-per-view. Then they make a trade. I mean, not Drew, Bray. Or, on the other hand, maybe keep the Fiend on SmackDown and put Funhouse Bray Wyatt on Raw. Like, that'd be a kind of a unique thing to do with that character. But either way, man, to start off the show with a segment like that, and then we obviously don't get any development on the show for the, it's just, I wouldn't have put that video up to start the show. It's just me.
Yeah, it's a good start off with that. Seth's part in it was so damn cheesy, though. Yeah. What do? You burn it all down. And I'm just like, oh my God, man. I go, this is like hokey ass shit. Bray was magical, though, in what he did in his part of it, though, with how he plays it. And like you said, with the character, like he's a schizo. Yep. They've really backed themselves into a corner booking this angle because, like you said, he's on a different brand. Seth's over on Raw. The Fiend winning doesn't seem like it's going to happen now because of this whole draft and how they did everything.
I mean, if he does, he wins the Universal title, and then you got two champions on SmackDown. So
yeah, and then they pinned him out on the dark match afterwards last night on Raw afterwards. And of course, I know it's a dark match, but the fans all watch it, put it up on the internet. The Fiend getting pinned. I'm like, that's just lame, man. Like, that's stupidity at its finest, right there. It's a way to ruin a damn gimmick, and we'll see where it goes from there with them and what they're going to do, but it doesn't look like he's going to be taking it.
So the actual verbiage they use for this match coming up, when they showed the card for Saudi Arabia coming up here, they put in quotes something like the match will not stop no matter what, or something like that, and I'm like, or the match won't end for any reason. I forgot what the fuck it said, but basically saying that we're not going to get a fucked finish like before, like there will be a winner. But if you're saying that the match won't stop no matter what, so does that mean it's not going to stop for a pinfall or submission, or does somebody have to die for the match to fucking stop, or is the match just going to continue on forever and ever and ever? Like, they literally put in quotes like the match won't stop for any reason.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
I've never seen that in the history of wrestling. Like,
I haven't either. I think they're just trying to guarantee people in some way that they're going to get an actual conclusion to this angle. And
well, then again, if we do, he's going to lose, right? Yeah. Bray Wyatt's going to lose. He's not going to win the Universal title. If he did, I'll be fucking shocked. Trust me. I'll be the first one to say, holy shit. But how can... what are you going to do, run him over with the fucking truck and then pin him? Like, it's the only way you're going to have to... you can't put him over cleanly with, like, 55 fucking curb stomps. I mean, it's just...
Maybe they really burn him down to get him out,
maybe.
He disappears like The Undertaker did.
Right. It's false count anywhere. So, obviously, some shenanigans are going to be involved. But, goddamn, man. You're right. They really fucked themselves in their corner on this one. And then to put another match on, they should have ended it with Hell in a Cell and not continue
move
down
Seth over to SmackDown.
Yeah, I know. But then again,
that's what I would have.
You got two champions on one show, so I don't know, man.
I would have taken the belt off Seth and then moved him over to SmackDown and
we all would have done that in a perfect world. That was common
sense, but I guess they didn't see the value in him over there that they wanted him. So, and Roman Reigns is the guy they wanted to be the flagship with, along with Brock. But Brock's not going to be there all the time. But there's rumor Roman got hurt yesterday. Yeah,
I saw that too. And look, Fox is greedy. They want all their top fucking guys, pretty much. So, I mean, they said, "Oh, we want that Fiend." We want that Fiend guy. Like everybody's talking about him. Well, we want him too. And Vince is like, "What the fuck do I do now? Like, say no?"
Do you really want to get the Fiend over? Have him go into Saudi Arabia. Have them hit the lights and do everything. It's an outdoor stadium that they do it in. But have them hit all the lights in a place and go sneak up behind the king of Saudi Arabia. They're the leader. And go have him put the mandible claw on him. That would
and get arrested.
Yeah, that would be great, man. Then you're going to get heat for days on the Fiend. The Fiend will be the most legendary character of all time. He took out the king of Saudi Arabia.
Right, yeah. Dude, to me, like, the Fiend should be able to do whatever he wants. Like, he shouldn't be bound to any rules of, like, a draft or anything like that. Like, to me, the Fiend should be able to come and go as he pleases and just to show that character is so unstable, he won't listen to anybody. That's how they could really clear this whole thing up.
I agree, man. It was another fine WWE booking at its finest.
Yeah, but after that highlight package, Ric Flair makes his way to the ring to officially start the show, to cut a promo about the match coming up between Team Flair and Team Hogan. Flair says that he is the only champion left in Cleveland. He said that LeBron's gone. I'm the only champ here left. So Flair was kind of on rare form. I don't know if he had a couple beers in him, whatever. His nose looked a little red, but
he was sucking Grey Goose down in catering.
He must have been, right?
Did you see him burn that fucking fan too?
I did. That was great. It's like it's something. I don't know what the guy said to me. He's like, "Yeah, tell your girlfriend that, pal." And he goes, "I used to know your mother." That's fucking great. I'm like, that is classic Ric Flair right there. But no, he put out a really good promo. He introduced Drew McIntyre as the final member of Team Flair, which is good. We haven't seen Drew in a while. So I think even the Cleveland Browns were ringside, and I think he was talking shit about Baker or somebody as well. But Flair was Flair. I thought he did a good job getting the match over and making it seem like kind of a big deal and talking shit about Hogan. So it was classic heel Ric Flair, which I loved. But that led us to a match with Drew McIntyre and Ricochet. He said, "I want to make a statement by taking one of Team Hogan's representatives out." And I'm thinking, oh, great. They're going to fucking feed Ricochet to Drew already, or they're feeding Drew to Ricochet. And, I thought for sure that he was going to lose the match, but it was a really good match, man. It was a lot of action. Ricochet is such a great athlete. I know we give shit about AEW for all the flip, flops, and flies and all that, but, Ricochet fits that style. But to me, I don't know. He still seems a little bit more believable than some of the guys they got over there. But I thought this was a really, really good match. McIntyre sold a lot for him, and people say, "Oh, you give shit for fucking small guys selling to big guys, right, all the time." And, yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, right? So McIntyre's a big guy. He's 6'6". He's 280 pounds, and Ricochet is not. Does that argument hold any merit? Am I a hypocrite for saying that some of these smaller guys, like Marco? Oh, see, Marco Stunt's such a bad idea. It's just
that's different though.
It is. But
Marco Stunt looks like a small child, so I said,
right.
I can understand.
This would be like Darby Allin going against Luchasaurus. If you want to use a comparison,
it's to me is that when I look at it, I don't think it's hypocritical in a way because of the fact that Ricochet's had over a year and a half on the roster now. I think it is right now, right? It's about a year and a half that he's been on the roster.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah. So, or right around a year-ish. I know he came in later on, and maybe it was earlier in the winter this year. I think he came on, actually. So he's around a year, but, he's been a name that's been out there anyways. So, and they've been building him up for a long time before he's got to that level there. He's been in mainstay feuds with likes of AJ Styles, and all those different ones that he's done. So I think it holds a little merit, but not a lot.
he's so fast and so quick, and he really uses a lot. He uses a lot of strikes and kicks, against Drew, kicking him in the face like a lot. So I don't care how big you are, you kick me in the face, it's gonna fucking hurt. So anyway, it's a moot point. It's a silly argument when it comes to wrestling, I guess. So it's just it's what we're accustomed to nowadays. But there's more small guys now than there used to be. But anyway, I thought this was a really good match. In the end, McIntyre ended up getting the Claymore kick on Ricochet to get the pin. Good to see Drew back. Good to feature Ricochet in the first match. So I didn't have a problem with this match. I thought it was very entertaining.
They had a great match. They have very good chemistry. They did before. I would have liked to have seen him put Drew over a little cleaner, and maybe given him more of that dominance, because I think he's going to be that force over there. But yeah. I have no problem with it either way, because they looked great, man. It was a great 20-minute match that they had.
Yeah, I mean, he did block the recoil. It really did look like a kid jumping up trying to do something. And he just grabbed him and tossed him out of the ring and threw him against the shoulder and then hit him with a Claymore kick. So it was a good finish, and it was the right finish. So I'm interested to see what they do going forward with Drew McIntyre. I really hope they build this show around him. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the future.
I'll say this though: the one thing I had from this angle from the start with players, it was just put together so hokey. Right. And it was so staged sounding, and I know it's staged, for a reason, but I get that, but it just looked like it was staged, and that's a shame, because that just shows you the lack of good writing and way they're putting it together and people acting it out. Actually,
true. I do like the fact that they kind of went to Flair at ringside with an interviewer, kind of like cutting to the sidelines of the football game to talk to him real quick, and he just went off and he just did typical out of his mind eccentric Ric Flair, just yelling and screaming. I thought that was kind of a nice touch to get a couple comments from him during the match.
Why do they not have him on the roster as a manager just for Mondays or Fridays or one of the shows, right, or even on NXT? Why do they not have him on as a manager? He'd love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's reliable to that stuff. That's what he wants to do. I mean, he'd still be wrestling if they'd let him.
I mean, Charlotte's on Raw. I mean, why not just accompany her to the ring?
Seriously, I mean, think about Harley Race back in the day, where all the people he led in WCW afterwards for many years. Sure. And he was a different persona. I get that, but it's kind of wild to me that they don't do that with him. I'm like, would actually be a fun and entertaining manager to have on there.
No, he really would be. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He can put a lot of people over and give them a rub. Yeah, I mean, who knows? They listen to the show. Maybe you'll see it in a couple of weeks.
It'd be nice.
But, after the match, Drew attacked Ricochet further, throwing him to the ring post, and then hit him with a double underhook DDT. Dragged him on the ring and nailed him with a sick inverted Alabama slam onto the ring steps. That's the move where you could really, really get hurt. But Drew's such a pro. He definitely took care of Ricochet as much as he could on that one. But yeah, that's the Drew McIntyre with fire that I want to see going forward. So I like what they're doing with him. Highlights are shown of the OC attacking the Street Profits last week on Raw. Charlie Caruso interviews OC. Carl Anderson talks about all the OC's accomplishments while calling the Street Profits rookies. AJ Styles says that getting that smoke is illegal in Cleveland, which I popped for. I thought that was pretty funny. And Luke Gallows said that Cleveland sucks. Obviously, cheap heat there. Then AJ promises before the night's out, the Street Profits will be getting a beating tonight. So we'll get into this match later, because this is probably going to be my biggest bullshit moment of the entire night, the way the match was handled. But it was a good promo by the OC. They're always entertaining. AJ is on the top of his game right now, doing some of the best stuff of his career. So I'm very excited about seeing more of them together. I think I'm glad they did the whole tag team rule of not having to draft 3 different people, but able to draft one group. So keeping them all together was the right thing to do, given the fact how much they've given them new shirts, a new entrance, a new song, a new title screen, all these graphics that they do. They're trying to make the OC a big deal. And for far too long, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were getting overlooked. So I'm liking what they're doing. I just would like to see them just get a few more big wins for Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. They kind of still seem like AJ's lackeys compared to how great AJ is.
No, I agree 1,000% on it with that, man. They're very talented guys, and they should definitely be showcased and featured a little bit differently out there with stuff and given more of that dominance that they actually possess.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Aleister Black is shown backstage, and he says he likes to think that there's a reason to his madness. He says that he is looking to the answer as to why. Black says he's filled with a violent rage, and that is beyond redemption, and is clawing at him. He wonders who wants to pick a fight with him. Am I to assume, even though everybody loves this guy, that he's a heel right now, based on just the way he cut that promo?
I have no idea. He's supposed to be a face from what we all understand, and he's cutting heel promos. Once again, goes back to what we were saying and giving AEW shit for. So we can give it right back to them right here.
Very good point. Yep.
You know, he's not distinguishing himself. If we don't know as fans something so simple as if he's a heel or a face, then they're fucking doing something wrong. And AEW was doing it. NXT has had a much better job at it. And then you got these guys out there that are doing the same exact thing on their Monday Night Primetime show, man, and with a guy that could really be a big player over there. But let's deviate what he is. What is he, a heel or a face, man? If he's a face, why is he giving that fucking heel promo? Why is he sounding like one? It makes no sense.
You're absolutely right. And you're right. We'll call bullshit whenever we see it. We do give AEW a hard time, especially for last week's Dynamite, because the fans cheer everybody, and nobody booking those matches are clearly defining who the heel and who the face is. I thought Aleister Black was a face. People cheer him. I love him. I think he's fantastic. But based on what he said in this promo, that's a heel promo. But yeah, when he comes out to the ring, he still gets cheered. So yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just this is the day and age we live in, and we're just getting passed by. I don't know. Maybe we just don't get it.
I don't think that's the case, but I think it's them, man. I'm going to throw that out there. I'd be the first one to admit if I thought it was that we were getting passed by over here. It's not, man. It's just basic storyline, people's and how they do it. It's a movie, too. Think about an action movie. Do you want two good guys going to kill each other? Do you want the dastardly bad guy out there in the movie, doing it? That you want the villain to get it. And that's basic stuff 101, and they're not doing it, and they haven't been doing it, and now they're falling under the same mold that you see that people criticize AEW for, and we'll call it out there, man. It's confusing, and that's not how you develop somebody into something. Either make them into a big heel or make them into a big face. I don't think that's a lost art yet, but it's becoming one for them.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. And to me, it's a TV show, and Vince says it's sports entertainment. So if you're treating it as an entertainment property, you need to have compelling stuff. You need to have good and bad. You need to have a good storyline, or a cliffhanger for next week. And it's when you're not clearly defining the roles of your characters, how are we supposed to know what's going on? So, by the way, is that an actual real coffee pot you got there that I'm pointed at?
That is actually a real coffee pot.
Wow, I didn't even know they made those things anymore. I thought everything had a Keurig or whatever. So.
I have a Keurig. I don't like it.
Really? What do you like about the Keurig?
I don't know. I like it. Doesn't get it hot enough for me as a coffee pot does, and I don't know. I just like the brewing of coffee in the pot.
Okay.
So
right. Well,
it's weird. I don't.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm older than you, so I mean, I do understand the whole coffee pot thing, from back in the day, but. See, I like the convenience of one cup because I usually don't drink more than one or two anyway. So
yeah, Letty likes instant coffee a lot too. So she does an instant coffee.
Now hold on. They still make instant coffee?
Yeah, man. Hold on.
I remember Sanka and shit back in the day, right? Folgers Classic Instant. No shit.
Yeah, buddy.
I had no idea that was still a thing. Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Letty, Rob's knocking. You drinking instant coffee? She said, "Fuck you." That's how it works in this house. It's not just me that says it like that. Letty will say it too.
No, that's right. Fair enough. Yeah, Folgers Crystals, man. Yeah, I do remember that shit. But
still there, baby. They still make it. So
that's
we
cool.
really only make it in the pot a lot of times when we have company over and people come over and drink coffee and stuff. So most of the time we'll just put it in there.
I'm busting your balls. I actually have a coffee pot in my office at work. Everybody has the Keurig they have a Keurig in the break room, but I have my own coffee pot in my office. So
do you drink that much coffee?
I was just fucking with you. I have a big Yeti mug, so I do make 6 cups of coffee, and it fills my mug up to about 4. So yeah, I do make a pot of coffee every morning. I'm just fucking with you since I saw it there on the screen, but. Anyway, that is the riveting conversation you always get from Rad Turtles Wrestling podcast. So we
don't just talk about wrestling. We talk about everything.
That's right. We talk about everything. So anyway, Aleister Black came to the ring to take on a jobber. His actual name was Jason Reynolds. I've never heard this or seen this guy in my life.
Wasn't that the same name of the guy that was on AEW last week jobbing?
It could have been. Maybe he's making the rounds. I don't
know, man. He's the first guy to be on AEW and WWE in the same week.
He might be.
Jason Reynolds is a hot commodity.
He is. He's a hot free agent. So this match didn't take long. It ended with a black mass. There's really nothing to talk about. I am so shocked that Aleister Black says nobody wants to fight me, so he just has to pick up on a local jobber. Like, we know how good he is. He's beaten some pretty decent opponents, but to revert him back to just squash matches just doesn't make sense to me. Like, he's so underutilized right now, and the fact that he's not in a program with somebody really speaks volumes about Vince McMahon has no fucking clue what this guy is all about or how to market him or how to use him. That clearly shows you that Vince McMahon is completely out of touch with what's going on right now, because this guy is so over, and you're doing nothing with him. It just blows my fucking mind, dude.
I couldn't agree anymore, man. I don't know if he's over to that level yet, but I think
let's just say he was over with the NXT crowd. I'm sorry. He's over with the niche audience.
Yes, he has a following and understanding from a lot of people about him. He needs to get that elevation to that level of where it's at now, and you're not going to do it by doing squash matches with R.D. Reynolds or Jason Reynolds, whatever the hell his name is.
R.D. Reynolds.
He's a book author, isn't he?
He might be. I think
so. Yeah. I think he did that Nitro book, the latest Nitro book. That's probably why I have to say R.D.
Yeah. You might
Jason.
Be right.
Yeah, Jason Reynolds. But
let's
he doesn't need it.
Let's break this down logically. Look at his entrance. Okay? Like, the treatment he gets, and I know that came from NXT or whatever, but like the treatment he gets and how great his entrance is, he looks like he's a big deal. But then you're putting him into a fucking squash match with nobody. Like, it just defies logic. It defies everything that they do to present him over. Like, his entrance is phenomenal. His song is fantastic. He has a great look. He's got all these, crazy tattoos all over him. Like, dude looks like he's a legit badass. And he is a legit badass, by all means, in wrestling. And then just to fucking job somebody out. Like, it's a walking contradiction, man. I don't understand it. If you're not going to present him that way, or if you're not going to put him over as a big deal, go to commercial, come back in the ring, and have him standing out there. Like, completely forego his fucking entrance and all that, because that's pretty much the way they're treating him.
They should have never brought him out when they brought him out. It was earlier this year that they brought him out when they were trying to spark ratings with that NXT thing they were doing.
They brought him out with Ricochet and put him in a tag team for like 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, and that was his WrestleMania moment that he had. He had that WrestleMania match this year with it, and then they went their separate ways in the first Superstar Shakeup or whatever they called it. Yeah. And they've done nothing with him since then.
Not a thing. So, anyway. We got another video package with AOP. For fuck's sake. I'm so tired of seeing these guys, like, on video. Like, they say Raw signed them to keep them from moving to SmackDown, but they don't want to use them. So that's kind of the excuse that they're using, to do damage control on their own end. They got to put these guys in the ring. I don't know what the hell they're waiting for.
Christmas?
Maybe so. Jerry Lawler heads to the ring for an edition of the King's Court with Rusev. Jerry was great on the debut edition of Raw, or the season premiere, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, it was good to see him back on TV again. But in the weeks since then, he has not been good. Really, he's adding nothing to the show. It's nice to have a familiar voice there. But if we're going to give Jim Ross shit, we're going to give Jerry Lawler shit too. Jerry Lawler is past his prime and should not be on commentary. He didn't even look great in his interview segment. And I don't know if it was scripted or if he's ad-libbing, or there's points where he didn't even know what to say or what question to ask. It wasn't good. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to put this whole stupid-ass angle over with Rusev and Lashley and Lana. They even cut to a video with Lana halfway in between of them in a restaurant, saying that, oh, you should recognize this restaurant, Rusev. And then Lana corrects herself and say, oh, wait, no, you don't. Because I begged you for weeks and weeks to take me here, and you never did. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. And so apparently they're in a relationship now, and she's just committing adultery on live TV. So if in any event, obviously they do get divorced, she ain't getting shit in the fucking settlement. So not after committing worldwide fucking adultery on television. What a dumb fucking angle this is, John.
The angle is beyond dumb. It makes fucking zero sense why they put it together. It just is stupid. It's awful, man. Rusev doesn't need that to get over, and neither does Lashley. It's ridiculous.
No, and Rusev looks like $1 million fucking bucks since he came back. Like, he looks fantastic, and Bobby Lashley is such a great athlete. And yeah, maybe, I mean, he is showing some personality in this angle, which is good because we never really got that much out of Lashley. And I think he really got better when he went to TNA and became their champion. But since he's come back, they've really done not much with him. You know, stick him in shit programs with Sami Zayn. But yeah, man, this whole angle is just, it's cringeworthy, man. It's hard to watch. It's not fun. It does nothing for me at all. I just want to get it over with, and I don't even care what the fucking payoff is on this. Honestly, like they could be doing so much more with either of these guys. To throw a cheap fucking angle in about, you know, fucking another guy's wife, that's fucking Attitude Era shit, man. And not even the good part of the Attitude Era shit.
Well, then they had that restaurant fight, which was even worse. You know,
it wasn't even a real restaurant. Like, you'd literally tell, like, it was a room backstage that they dressed up to look like a restaurant. That's why the camera never panned around the entire room. It's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
And then you got this guy that's supposed to be the waiter or the manager coming up to him saying, you know, please leave. We know Mr. Rusev's coming. What do they got? Monday Night Raw and the supposed fancy.
How the fuck do they know that he's coming or who these people are, right? Like, yeah, dude. Like,
alert the media. I mean, Monday Night Raw's on. Fucking Rusev's coming here to start a fight. Everybody knows you're over in fucking Gazpacho's fucking Italian diner over there, man, and having a great fancy meal. Come on, dude. That's fucking stupid, man.
Like, yeah, he knew exactly where they were by looking at her table. Like, come on, man. And then, then she's like, oh, my husband doesn't have the balls enough to come over here. And like, whatever. This is so fucking bad. But yeah, do you agree with Lawler? Like, he's really.
Dude, I put him over the first week. He's terrible, man. Yeah, and I gotta say it too, man. This guy Dio Madden, he's
a fucking goofball, right?
Dude, beyond goofball, man. He had so many cringeworthy moments last night.
He did, lots of one-liners and stuff, and just stupid comments, like almost like they're feeding him these shitty lines.
It's like he's a mark. That's what they want him to play, like this goofy wrestling mark that's behind the announce table calling the shots. And I thought he was good the first week. I thought they were all good. Vic Joseph's very good.
Yeah, I still like him. He kind of reminds me a lot of Cole, which I'm really worried about. Like, it's just Cole 2.0. But
he's very dry. He can be very dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Tom Phillips was way, way better. Like, I can't believe he doesn't have a fucking job right now, like, on commentary.
But Dio Madden does.
Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, this segment did absolutely nothing for me. Like, there's nothing of value to really even play for like promos on this show. The in-ring work was good, but they still have a long way to go before they're going to get some people turned back around. It'd be interesting to see. I didn't look if the ratings came out today or not, but I'll check that before.
They went up 70,000 people this week.
Okay, so that's funny, man. Like,
you know how I know that?
How's that?
Because Brad made sure to put out something on Twitter when I was on Twitter.
Okay,
I saw it. He goes, but he made a great point. He goes, no Becky Lynch or women's wrestling matches this week, and the ratings go up 70,000 downloads.
Do you think it was people tuning in thinking they were going to see something with Bray and Seth, not even realizing that they can't because of the draft?
No, I just think it was happenstance. I don't think they got anybody over for any reasons. Yeah. I think maybe maybe the football game, the Jets just got the shit kicked out of them.
They did.
And
I love it.
People are like, the people like wrestling.
Game, dude. Yeah, it's fantastic. That was the best game of the year.
Yeah, well, you're a big Pats fan, man. That was a great cleanup that they had there. I think that was a lot of it, was that the game was over, and it was over before it started. But
yeah, sure.
Let's be real. But a lot of football fans are wrestling fans too, but they choose to watch football over it because football's way better half the time than wrestling. So, or most of the time than wrestling. So they were like probably switching over. That's my opinion, but who knows?
Whoever made the NFL schedule this year, it's fucking collusion. Like, they literally want the Patriots again in the fucking Super Bowl. Like, they want Brady to get his 7th ring. I'm a homer. But they have had such a fucking cupcake schedule right now. Like, they're playing the Browns next week, and they're going to fucking destroy them. Like, I initially said they were going to go 8-0. Or no, maybe it's not next week of the Browns. I forgot. They're playing the Browns coming up, and I initially said the Pats were going to go 8-0 based on their first games. And then, like, maybe they'll probably lose to Cleveland because that's when I was riding the Cleveland train, preseason. But, Cleveland does not look good. And the rest of the schedule after that, they got like the Texans. They got, I think they have the Chargers. I mean, they got to play the AFC East one more time through. They could easily go undefeated again this year.
It's a very good possibility. I'm not going to lie, man. I would agree with you on that. It is a very, very realistic possibility.
And normally I'd worry about the Texans, but losing to the fucking Colts, like, goddamn, dude. Like, I know this isn't a football show, but like, come on, dude. Like, what is going on with the NFL this year? Like, there's so much parity. I just don't understand. Like, the teams you think are going to win, they're not always winning. Well, except for the Dolphins. We all know they fucking suck. But
yeah,
like,
we all know that one real well, man. Especially me, being a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, the Jets beat the Cowboys and then get absolutely fucking trounced at home by the Pats. Like, it just doesn't. There's weird games this year. I don't get it. You never know what's going to happen on any given Sunday. So, or Monday.
That's the truth, man. That's football. But I think that plays into a lot of the fact why they all switched over this week. To be honest with you, buddy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
and it's just because they didn't do any real job of advertising it to make people want to actually come and watch that, you know?
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. But I mean, Raw again is going to have its base, like I said, from 2.2 to 2.5 million. Like that is pretty much consistently what they're going to get, you know, roughly every week. And SmackDown, I'd be more worried about. Like on network TV, they should be up in the 3.5, 4 millions, and they're not. Like, they're really going to push the panic button here in the next 3 or 4 months if they don't get their ratings up.
It's bad news what's going on for them, man. It's going to be a bad day for them here real soon if they don't improve on this for them.
I mean, Vince is already making a knee-jerk reaction to get rid of fucking Bischoff, and I don't know exactly the extenuating circumstances. Brad kind of alluded a little bit to the fact that, you know, Bischoff is fucking a millionaire. Like, he's rich. Like, he doesn't need the money. I don't think he's used to that kind of work schedule that Vince McMahon demands. And that might have had a lot to do with the fact that, you know, he didn't want to quit, so they fired him, you know. So I don't know. But when the final person, the guy that has the final say, is still the same guy, does it matter who's making the food if you have the same critic that's fucking making the review? Like, no,
not at all. That's a great point, man. He's calling the shots. Yeah. At the end of the day, the blame falls on him, man.
Yep. You're exactly right. So
when WCW closed down, yeah, people could point their fingers at every little factor out there. Oh, Russo did it. Bischoff did it. This is why. No, it's WCW was mismanaged from the top up by the big people, man. And you have to lie it on the person that did that. And that was Ted Turner and the AOL people. And that's why it went down.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were not fans of wrestling in that company, and they did nothing to support them. They just tied their hands behind their back most of the time.
No, absolutely, and you know, you look at it, and it falls into this narrative with the shows is it's an unfair criticism from back in the day there that people gave Bischoff and Russo. Did some of the things they did contribute to that? Sure, it did. But in the end of the day, it's like you mentioned earlier, it's like just illustrates the point. It was mismanaged, and that's why it went away. And
you talk to Tony and you talk to, you know, Eric, you know, you listen to them on their shows, and they spend a lot of money on stupid shit that they didn't need to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, even with so far as people cashing in their airline tickets, you know, and just renting a car and driving everywhere, and nobody even knew what the fuck they were doing. Like, you know, the wrestlers are capping thousands of dollars in their pockets by trading in all their travel vouchers and spending money on fucking limos that they're going to crush with monster trucks. And I mean, yeah, Vince obviously did the same thing, but, you know, Vince also had total control over his product, and you put standards and practices into place where Vince is doing all this crazy shit in the Attitude Era, and TNT won't let them do that on network, you know, or on their show. Yeah, man, I don't blame Russo. I don't blame Bischoff. I think as a whole, even before Time Warner and AOL bought him out, nobody in Turner gave a shit about wrestling except for Ted. And once Ted was gone, they were fucking doomed, man. Once they sold out, that was it. There was no chance.
Yeah, and I if I was them, man, I wouldn't be jumping up and down over this 70,000 person jump, you know?
No, I agree. No, I mean, Raw. I mean, USA is obviously happy with these numbers. They always have been. The numbers have been the same for fucking 10 years now. Honestly, it's like I said, it's Fox that's really going to have to worry more about, you know, about what WWE is doing and not giving them the show that they, you know, said they would, or the ratings that they said they demanded. So anyway, we'll get into that at another point. Back to Raw. Our next match was Andrade with his business associate Zelina Vega taking on the returning Sin Cara. I honestly didn't even realize Sin Cara was gone. I just thought they weren't using him, but apparently the backstory is Andrade had injured him in their last match that they had, and he's been out for several months. So I guess good to see him back on TV. It was a pretty good match. They had pretty good chemistry together. I thought Sin Cara might actually get the win, given the fact that, well, it's kind of a revenge match if he's trying to avenge the guy that injured him and took him out. But no, they put Andrade over with his hammerlock DDT for the win. Not sure where they're going with this. I don't know if this is just a one-off. Again, Andrade is another guy that is so good and has so much talent, and I know you're not the hugest fan of him as I am, but I think this guy is one of the future stars of the company, and again, doesn't really have a purpose, doesn't really have a program.
It's not that I'm not a fan. It's the fact that I want to see more out of him. I want to see why I want to believe this guy's a star, and I'm not.
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't really speak English, so it's hard to it's hard to get a guy over like that you can't communicate with 60% of your audience.
Well, he speaks the language of cock, which is why Charlotte loves him. So, boom!
Oh, good call.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, just had to do that. But. No, apparently he took a good period of time off and got English lessons and stuff, and I think he probably speaks English better and more communicable, or more easy to understand a lot for people than you would if you had the kabuki girls there. So, I mean, and he's got. Yeah, geez, seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you got the, you got Zelina there for him that can do, does a pretty decent job as his manager for the most part, and
she does, and she hit a pretty sick Hurricane Rana on Sin Cara that I actually popped for. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a unique thing to do, the way she jumped off the apron and hit him with that. So
yeah, second week in a row she did that too.
Yep.
So.
But see, that's a chicken shit heel. That's old school heel stuff right there. Using your manager to get you over, to get cause a distraction to get you a win. It kind of takes a luster off of him, but that's wrestling, man. That's what you used to do back in the old days with Bobby Heenan and Slick and Jimmy Hart and all that. Like that's old school managers right there. And in an age where we really don't have a lot of managers anymore, and they're not necessarily calling her a manager, but she is. It is good to see her out there doing the same kind of old stuff that we saw back in the day.
Yep. No, I would agree. I don't think it takes anything away from him by having her out there. I think she adds to the mystique of him a lot.
Yeah.
And, she's a beautiful woman. She's that mean, nasty chick, that's his manager, and the one that's his business associate and all that stuff. I mean, I think it works out good for her. I just want to see them do more with him before I anoint him as somebody that's going to be a big player.
Right. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point. One guy I don't give a fuck to see anymore from is our next interview with Charlie Caruso, Humberto Carrillo. He was backstage with Charlie. Humberto said that he has a lot of respect for Sin Cara, and then goes on to say that while Andrade and Zelina are awesome, he says he wants to be the Universal Champion and knows that he has a lot of work to do to get there. I don't know what the fuck that had to do with anything that was involved in. He wasn't involved in the match. He said he likes both Sin Cara and Andrade, and then just says, you know what? I want to be the fucking Universal Champion, and talks about Seth Rollins for a while. Like, what? Like, this guy just got here.
This guy's a dope, man. He's a dope. And somebody put it up as a meme online today with him looking like a Power Ranger. And,
I think actually Grappler 9 even said that too. Like,
oh, okay. Well, hey,
he said, who knew the White Power Ranger was a fucking wrestler?
Seriously, hey, kudos to them, man. So Somebody had a meme up online with it today where they said they equated him to being the Power Ranger, and if you look at the thing minus the mask, he has the exact same outfit as the Power Ranger.
No, he does. Yeah, you're exactly right.
I'm like, dude, people couldn't give two shits less about this goof, man. And he's never going to get over, and you can see it. He has zero personality. He's good in the ring. Okay, great, man. Awesome. But, wow.
You're telling me he was 205? You're telling me he was in the Cruiserweight division. He's a big, tall guy.
He's a very tall guy. I think he's a Cruiserweight, personally. I think he's right around there.
I think it's pushing it. I think he's something about 220, but
he's a stubby looking one, man. At that there, he's not the guy that's not like ripped and buff like a Buddy Murphy. So
no, he's not. But
I think he fits around that limit. But I'd see zero in this kid, man.
Yeah, I do too. But hey, he was a draft pick, so we have to feature him, right?
He outranked The Miz, for Christ's sakes, and a bunch of other people in the draft. This guy, man, Humberto Carrillo is gonna. It just reminds me of Alberto Del Rio when I hear it too.
Yeah, so, you're right. Yeah.
Humberto Carrillo there is gonna be headlining WrestleMania in a year. It's gonna be Humberto Mania.
Humberto Mania. A lot of people think he's going to be a needle mover, but I think he's just a channel changer. So.
In what world is this guy going to be a needle mover?
You got me, dude. I mean, like I said.
If anybody thinks that he's going to be a needle mover, please let us know. And
hit us up.
In a nice way. Well, we will bring you on the show and we'll talk about it in a friendly manner as friends. And, because we want to hear your perspective, because we want to hear it. So how to explain it. If you believe that, wwrpodcast.com at gmail.com, RadTurtlesWrestling at gmail.com, or DM us on Twitter at RadRobGaming, at RadTurtlesPod, at WWR Podcast. DM us there too if you think he's a needle mover and want to talk about why. So, and we got our plugs in there in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. Good job, dude. I'm proud of you for knowing all that, man.
There we go.
You're good. So after that interview with Carrillo, we got a backstage thing with the Street Profits, your favorite.
They're growing on me, dude.
Are they?
The backstage segments are cringy, but they're still growing. They're growing on me a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to get you over on the dark side there, but
I'll tell my theory on them later.
Okay. The Street Profits were backstage talking about what the OC had said earlier, and then they talk about making their Raw debut tonight and how excited they are. Angelo Dawkins says that he has found them a partner tonight, and it's a surprise. And then Montez kept throwing out names there, trying to guess who it was. Like, is it Ric Flair? Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Is it Booker T? And then Dawkins says, "No, I'm still waiting him to don me the Dark Knight, fam." I'm like, that's fucking great. I love that callback because I love that line originally when they had that spot with King Booker and he wanted him to make him the Dark Knight. So that was a pretty funny callback just for me. I popped when he said that.
It was good. It was good. I liked it actually.
Yeah. They allude to the fact that they will have a mystery partner later on for the main event of the show. We then see WWE 24 champion R-Truth. I love this. This was some great stuff, too. We haven't really seen them in a while, but Truth is shown backstage. He's hiding in a trailer back in the loading dock, and I'm like, what the fuck's he doing hiding in a trailer? So he's sneaking his way out, and he's looking around, and he's trying to hide from people that are going after him. And then he bumps into one of the Bollywood boys, which is one of the Singh brothers. And then he starts singing a Bollywood song for him. And then all of a sudden, while R-Truth is distracted, his brother rolls him up for the pin. And I don't know fucking which one it is, but one of the Bollywood boys is the new 24/7 champion. And Truth has this great line and says, "I don't know if I'll see in double or there's two of them." I thought that was fucking great. Goddamn, I love Truth. This is a really fun segment for me.
Truth is always underrated, man. He's such a great talent, man.
Dude, he's like 48, 49 years old. Like he's not a young guy, and he's fucking still in ridiculous shape, and he can really still move. Like that dude keeps in great fucking shape. I'm really impressed with him.
Well, people say, with the Heath Slater gimmick, he's got kids. Truth legitimately has 6 children.
He really does. He needs to keep working. Yeah, for real. So he's got a lot of college to pay for. So
he's got a lot, man. He's going to be going for a while longer there.
Yeah. You are too there, by the way. So you got 2 kids you got to put through. So you got to keep working hard, man. Mr. No Days Off.
Seriously, man. It's not like I could get many more gigs, man.
Right? No shit. So
they're going to community college.
That was great. Sarah Schreiber interviews Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. They're excited about their upcoming match here in a few minutes, taking on the Viking Raiders, the Raw Tag Team Champions. Ryder just was kind of downplaying their underdog status, and Kurt said that facing the Viking Raiders is a huge opportunity for him. I'm like, weren't you guys just tag team champions like a few months ago? It's not like you've been down in the dumps for fucking like 6 years like you were before. But hey, whatever. Anytime you face a tag team champions, I guess it's good. I mean, it's better than being in catering. We indeed get a match between the Viking Raiders taking on Ryder and Hawkins. But it really wasn't much of a match. So
next.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like we knew what was going to happen. And Ryder and Hawkins got a little bit of offense in, but really, we knew this is just a win, for the Viking Raiders, just to put them over an established tag team that's popular with the fans. But again, are the Viking Raiders heels or are they faces? I thought recently they've been, I thought they were faces, but obviously Ryder and Hawkins are not heels. So did we miss a switch somewhere that I wasn't aware of?
No, they're just plugging them in for this 10-man tag team turmoil match that they're doing at Crown Jewel.
That's gonna be fun. So we had the best in the world tournament or the World Cup bullshit last year. It was a singles tournament they had at Saudi Arabia, and now they're doing a gauntlet. I don't know if it's a gauntlet tag team match or just.
They haven't explained the rules. I think it might be a gauntlet, man.
Okay, yeah. So we'll have a World Cup tournament to determine who is the best tag team in the world at Crown Jewel. So, yay! That's going to be so exciting.
Yippee-ki-yay!
We break down the card on this Saturday's flagship coming up since it is a week from this Thursday. It's kind of on a weird time. It's like 1 o'clock Central or Eastern time. So, I'll be watching that at work. So, so after the Viking Raiders got the win with the Viking Experience, Lana and Bobby Lashley are shown backstage again. Obviously, talking about what we talked about before when the waiter came up and says he doesn't want any trouble and he thinks Rusev is on the way and he wants him to leave, and they refuse to. So then we see Rey Mysterio walking around backstage. Good to see Ray on the show. And then after that, we cut to a commercial break, and when they come back, well, there you go. Rusev indeed does arrive at some unknown restaurant, I'm assuming in Cleveland. I don't know why Lana and Bobby were in Cleveland when Lana lives about 30 minutes from me in Tennessee, and they weren't on the card, but whatever.
Well, she said he never took her to that restaurant before, and I'm like,
instead her and Bobby just travel together to Cleveland so they can go to the fucking.
What did her and Rusev used to spend frequent Cleveland a lot? Like, to our Cleveland fans out there, we love Cleveland and you. But
7-hour drive.
Yeah, I'm like, is Rusev going there for the best pasta in the world to this place? Like, did they serve cock meat sandwiches there for Lana? I mean, I don't know. So I don't know what the big thing about this is. That's why I just thought it was even cheesier and stupid, man. I'm like, she was saying how he never took her. I was like, were they frequent vacationers in Cleveland?
Yeah,
and he would never take them there on all their vacations and excursions to Cleveland.
Hey, Cleveland is such a tourist place. I mean, it's a destination, a place to go for vacations and all that. Like,
you got Paris, you got New York City, you got Las Vegas, you got and you got Cleveland. Yeah, absolutely. People go there. You want to know the funny thing about Cleveland this year is my school was so cheap back in the day, like for our class trip, and we're one of the highest tax bracketed schools ever. Like, it's insane, the budget and the taxes I pay. Our class trip was to Cleveland.
No shit.
Yeah. We got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yippity fucking do that was, man.
Wow,
we went the next day to Cedar Point. That was it.
That's a hell of a field trip, man. We went to like fucking Boston and Quincy Market, and we went to fucking like Washington, and I think we went to Statue of Liberty one time. But you're going to Cleveland.
But I'm going to Cleveland, and
that's a pretty big deal.
We got to go to the Hard Rock Cafe. I'll never forget it, and pick from 3 items on the thing, and it was like a corn dog, a piece of like chicken or something, and like a hamburger that was awful. So I was like, yeah, Cleveland rocks, man.
Cleveland doesn't need rock.
Well, I want to go to this restaurant that Lana.
I did too. I want to know where it was, man, because obviously it's so good that everybody's
road trip. We're not going on any good routes or anything. We're going to Cleveland to go to this restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to Cleveland.
Amen.
Rey Mysterio makes his way to the ring. He says he's been training with Cain Velasquez to help get him ready for the bout against Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. Ray thanks the WWE Universe for all their well wishes for him and for his son after they got brutalized by Brock Lesnar a few weeks back. Ray says he will celebrate with everybody when Kane wins the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel. And then we get Paul Heyman on the big screen because, why not? He's the guy that runs the show, right? So Paul appears on the Unitron and says that there is a misunderstanding between them. Paul said that Ray wouldn't say those things if Brock was up there in his face. And Ray's like, yeah, I would. And Paul said that there is no man on the planet that can handle Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel. Mysterio interrupts Paul and said something to him in Spanish, which he cussed him out. I know he said cabron, so I'm surprised that made it past the censors. Apparently they don't know English or Spanish cuss words like I do. Shelton Benjamin comes down and interrupt after that, and I'm like,
can I take it from here, please?
Oh, sure. No, go. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
No. I just want to pick this one up here.
Yeah,
okay.
no. By all means.
This is what I've been salivating at for this one. I mean, because Shelton's been back with them for like 3 years, and we've seen nothing from him.
Right.
And he's arguably one of the worst promos in the history of wrestling for guys that have been around as long. This was the best promo that he ever gave. It
was. Yeah, I agree.
The best.
I mean, I can play it if you want. I mean, we could stop for a second here, and I'll plug it right in. So
plug it in for everybody.
All right, here is Shelton Benjamin interrupting Rey Mysterio.
Well, wait. Hold up. I need to get something through my head. So you mean to tell me you and your son get annihilated by the Beast? What? And your buddy Cain Velasquez? What? He just waltzes in here to defend you because you can't defend yourself.
No.
Or your son.
It doesn't work that way, Shelton.
Oh, he gets a WWE Championship opportunity just for that?
Doesn't work that way, Shelton. This is a family thing.
It's a family thing. Okay. You know what? I got a little secret for you, Ray. I got a buddy too. My buddy is the Beast, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, come on, wait a minute. What?
At University of Minnesota, I trained Brock Lesnar. I room with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is my family. I'm going to test a theory. I'm going to see what happens if I push you around.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Isn't
that
how it works?
No.
Beat up Rey Mysterio, get a championship opportunity?
You let me.
Huh?
You let me get better.
That's a U.S. title, huh?
Let me get.
How about that? Where's your buddy now, Ray? Where's the opportunity on that?
Ray, just get out of the ring. Wait a minute.
Well, Shelton Benjamin might want to rework that theory because Cain Velasquez is here.
I don't think Shelton Benjamin thought for 1 minute that Cain was here tonight.
Look out! Look out! And Benjamin quickly trying to take down Velasquez, but look at the look on Cain Velasquez quickly turning things around. And look at the former UFC champion going right to work on Shelton Benjamin. Look at the fists into the side, into the body, into the face, and how many guys have you seen manhandle Shelton Benjamin like this?
Benjamin better cover up, and no, better yet, he better get the hell out of the ring.
Cain Velasquez now trying to put down Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin quickly tapping out. And if Brock Lesnar taps out at Crown Jewel, we're going to have a new WWE champion.
No, man, you're right. I absolutely forgot what he had to say. I love the fact that Shelton said that Velasquez isn't here and Mysterio can't defend himself or his son. And for whatever reason, Benjamin was bullying him. Like, he just kept pushing him. Like, what are you going to do, man? Like, we've never seen that out of Shelton. Like, that kind of really douchebaggy stuff, Like,
I liked it.
No, I liked it a lot. Like you said before, he was doing the stupid eye rolling thing, and like they did nothing for him. They never even paid that off as to why. But man, like, this is a real asshole. Because I mean, we know he's a world class athlete still. I mean, even
he's legit, man.
Even his late 30s and early 40s, like whatever he is, he's in great fucking shape. I mean, he's got good bulk, he's got good size, he can still go.
And he trained Brock Lesnar legitly, and he is the guy.
No, it was great, dude. Yeah, I forgot they were in the same class together.
And they were in a tag team down there in Ohio Valley Wrestling too.
Yeah, and that was a
Minnesota Wrecking Crew. That was what they were called.
And that was a fantastic class that they had. By the way,
that's probably the best ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot that fact.
And he's legit an amazing collegiate wrestler. He legit was his partner and roommate and things like that. Yep. Here they go, and they get something out of this guy for once because they've done nothing with him. It's not his fault, man. He's a talented guy. A guy that's a notoriously weak promo, awful, which was always the thing that they said never took him to the next level when he was in his earlier years. And then here you go, you get it from him. And you don't play this out once again. I know Crown Jewel's coming. You don't play this out for a while and really go with this. They could have really got him over, man, for fucking beating on Rey Mysterio's ass.
Oh,
Instead,
for sure. Yeah.
You could have done something right, and you could have just changed this guy's fortune in about 5 minutes. And instead, you bring Kane out, and I get the whole Kane thing. Kane looked so bad with his punches in there, and the whole
horrible.
thing.
You could tell he was fucking. They weren't even great working punches.
Dude, they weren't even touching him, I don't think. And
it didn't look like it. Yeah.
It was cream puff central, man. He almost fucking broke the guy's neck on a suplex there, too. He's lucky Shelton can work, man. And, give me a break, man. That was terrible. It was dreadful.
Yeah, it really was. And you're right. They could have had money with Shelton for, I know the pay-per-view is coming out, but, they could have at least done something next week on Raw. Have Ray have him beat the shit out of Ray right now. And have Kane, have him try it again next week and have Kane come down the ring and then do that, on the go-home show. To me, they did it a week early. But yeah, I mean, for Shelton to come down there and say that Brock's his buddy and they've been friends since their days at the University of Minnesota together, that was great stuff. But then you're right, man. They squandered that opportunity, to give Shelton some real heat by feeding him right to fucking Cain Velasquez and making him look like a fucking pile of shit. So.
Let me tell you one thing. I know Kane was a great wrestler in college.
Oh no, he's a legit badass. Trust me,
he is.
He could. I don't know if he would kill. Yeah, he'd probably kill Shelton Benjamin. He killed Brock Lesnar. So
let me tell you one thing here. And Kane, had a rough end to his career due to a lot of injuries and stuff. Yeah. And he was a fantastic wrestler too. He could not hold a candle to Shelton Benjamin in wrestling, on that level. Shelton Benjamin, I guarantee you, if they were to just have a straight wrestling match in there, I guarantee you that Shelton Benjamin would wipe the floor with the Cain Velasquez out.
In a wrestling match, yeah, because the Kane's not a grappler.
MMA, not a chance. Right. That Kane's taking it all day long because of his training, but Shelton's very trained in it too. But not to that level. I mean, Kane is a legit heavyweight, legit ex-champion, amazing guy. He wouldn't last with him on the mat. Shelton could take him down anytime he wanted to, and then that weak-ass single leg he went for on him, which just was stupid, because he's trying to protect Kane, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, Shelton's been wrestling his whole life for 40 years, and he can't get he doesn't know how to do a proper single leg on this guy. It was terrible. They should have never done this segment if they were going to do it that way, in my opinion, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
I just needed to touch on it because it drove me crazy, because you got something out of this guy in the mic for once.
Yep, no, that's fair. That's fair. So next, Charlie Caruso interviews Universal Champion Seth Rollins, who says that the Fiend has gotten inside of his head. He said that, but he's also got inside of the Fiend's head as well. Rollins says that the Fiend is different, and his aura about him is a little bit off. And I'm like, that's a fucking understatement. You burned his goddamn fucking house down. I think he's a little bit inside your head and he's a little bit off. But Seth said that he has been changed forever after being in the ring with the Fiend. And he says anybody that's ever been in the ring with the Fiend would be changed forever. And I'm like, well, Finn's doing pretty well by all counts. So that was kind of a stupid thing to say. But hey, whatever. Then Rollins leaves the interview area. He says, hold on a second. And he sees Humberto Carrillo off in the distance. So he literally stops what he's doing, walks over to Carrillo and said that, I heard what you said about me earlier tonight. And Seth said that, he would burn down the Firefly Funhouse again, if he had to. He's like, first of all, he says, I didn't like what I had to do, but I would do it again. I'm like, well, if you didn't fucking like it, why would you do it again? Just stupid shit, it really is. But none of that has to do with fucking anything. And then he says, you know what, kid? You got potential. I'll give you a shot here later on tonight. So why? Why do we need to give Carrillo the rub by having him face the Universal Champion? He should be the fucking European Champion. Why would we give this kid a shot against the Universal Champion right off the bat when he just got here? Do they really see? I told you, man. People think he's a fucking star. He's gonna be a fucking needle mover one day. And what about this kid screams that he should be getting a fucking match with Seth Rollins in his first appearance on Raw?
Not a fucking thing at all.
And it was a decent match, but the crowd couldn't even talk. The crowd didn't care at all.
The crowd was shitting on this right here, man.
Yeah.
And let me tell you one thing. They successfully took out the guy they've been trying to bill as their biggest babyface for God knows how long with Seth Rollins.
Yep.
They have There's nonsensical booking and their procedures and things they've done literally took this guy out. They were booing him senseless, man. They wanted, it wasn't Humberto Carrillo either, too, and they put on a decent match. Yeah, they wanted nothing to do with Seth Rollins and anything that was going on with him. Nothing.
You're absolutely right, man. No, you're 100% right, and I do feel bad for Carrillo because he is a really good wrestler. He just looks like a 14-year-old kid, that's just in there with a man. You know what I mean? Like he's got a real baby face look. And I'm not saying like a character, but he's got the old school baby face. Like he just looks really, really young. And he looked out of his league in there at times with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins obviously is a world-class athlete, and they have built him up to be a big deal. But even Seth was talking shit in the ring, like, "Hey, you're out of your league, kid. I admire what you're doing, but you don't belong in here with me." And I'm like, again, this is your fucking baby face.
Doing a heel gimmick.
Yeah,
as soon as I watched that and saw that, that's exactly what I was thinking right there. I was like, isn't he supposed to... I said, did they do the double switch and we didn't even know it? Like, I was like, we do the double switch here with him and The Fiend? Is The Fiend going to be getting the remorse now because he burned it down? Was that their intent? I was like, that's not their intention, but that's the way it's happening. And then you got him...
we'll find out on... Yeah, you're right. And obviously we'll find out on the Funhouse on SmackDown this Friday. Well, like I said, the Funhouse Bray doesn't know why all this is happening. He has nothing. He has no beef with Seth. It's between him and The Fiend. So I'm really, really looking forward to what Bray Wyatt has to say on Friday. But yeah, this really is, Seth Rollins being a fucking bully and like attempting to murder The Fiend and Bray Wyatt twice already.
Yep, absolutely.
But we gave Daniel Bryan and Rowan and all this shit for trying to kill fucking Roman Reigns, right? But no one's giving Seth shit for trying to kill The Fiend? Okay.
I agree.
Makes sense,
right? I couldn't agree anymore, man.
Yeah. Try to fucking kill him with a car, but no, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, all right. So that leads us to our main event, the OC, which I thought was going to be Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows and AJ Styles taking on the Street Profits and a mystery partner. And there wasn't a fucking mystery partner. For 2 weeks, or for a week now, they teased it last week before the show went off the air, and it never happened. So now they're going to have it this week on Raw, and it never happened. Where the fuck? How can you say How are you going to say you're going to have a mystery partner and then not have one?
I was lost, man. I had no idea what they were doing with this because I thought the same thing. I was like, are they purposely trying to fuck this up and like do this? I was like, and they don't even explain it. Nobody
explained it. And even the ring announcer said, accompanied by AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. Like, nobody ever said AJ was even a part of this match. So, like, what? So not only did the ring announcer introduce them as being accompanied by AJ, which means he's not in the match, then they cut a promo saying, hey, where's your partner? They're not going to have a partner because you just fucking announced him as a two-man tag team, accompanied by AJ Styles. So how the fuck are you going to cut a promo saying, where's your partner? Like, this
made no sense.
The dumbest fucking thing I've seen all week, including AEW. Like,
it was ridiculous, man. It was poor booking at its finest.
I would expect better out of Raw, which was the main show, than this. So they had no intentions of having a mystery partner in this match. So why even bring it up if you're not going to follow through with it? We're not fucking stupid. Don't insult our intelligence. You've literally been building this up for a week now because you didn't deliver the week before like you said you would because whoever fucked up, they timed the show out wrong. And now you said you're going to have this match. It's going to be a six-man tag with the mystery partner. They acknowledged earlier in the night that it's going to be a surprise. And then they allow AJ to cut a fucking promo on him saying, oh, let me guess, your partner's invisible? Or he's your imaginary friend. They're just fucking making him look like a couple of fucking goofs, right? For lying and not having a partner. What a dumb fucking thing, dude. I didn't give a fuck about this match after that.
It was hokey shit, man. I think hokey's a good word for it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I could use a few more adjectives that aren't as endearing, but Christ, dude. So, fuck, who cares? The Street Profits entrance was great. They're super over with the crowd.
That's what I was going to say about them, where I've kind of turned it on them. I still don't like those dumbass backstage gimmicks that they do, but
agreed.
Man, they were over with the crowd, man. They were over.
And they're great athletes, and they're really good wrestlers.
And I'll even give D'Angelo his credit because we always put Montez over, man. He plays that goofy gimmick well, and
he does.
It was they got something there with them if they work it properly. To be honest with you,
if they work properly, well, they look
if they work it properly, no, not this way. Yeah, because they're great in the ring, man. They're a great team out there. They've earned their spot where they're at, man. Total respect for them.
And it was honestly a decent match. But after they just fucked up this whole 6-man thing and didn't announce a partner, I tuned out. I just watched it, and I was concentrating more on the fucking 26-0 route of the fucking Jets than it was this match. So,
well, how did you like the surprise at the end there?
That was cool. Yeah. Like I was okay with that. Like Kevin Owens coming out, was he supposed to be the original partner? Maybe, I don't know. But coming out,
it made sense.
It did.
When I never put it together, to be honest with you. The whole show, I was wondering who it was going to be. I was kind of trying to think, but he's been off TV since that ladder match on the debut episode of SmackDown. They haven't had him all out there, so.
And we know he got drafted, so.
Yeah, so I mean, it made sense. They've had a pretty good rivalry for many years there and stuff, so it made a lot of sense. I liked them flipping it. I liked the reaction that he got. He came out like a ball of fire on him and looked dominant, and that's what I want to see from him. I think they got the guy, if they do it right with him, that can be, a pretty marketable guy, even though he doesn't really have that look that I like. But he's got a lot to him, man, as well. But they could do something decent with him. Do I think Kevin Owens equals ratings? No, I don't. Not yet.
But I think he could.
He could. He could definitely. He resonates with the crowd because he's the common average guy.
Yep.
And that resonates with people a lot of times. And he came out like a ball of fire, had a great reaction out there.
He did, and the stunner is great. Like that's such a great move to give him. Like I'm really glad that they gave that to him because that move itself is over. So when he's coming out there, just ready to fucking pick a fight with somebody and give somebody the stunner, the crowd's always gonna pop for that. Like it's smart marketing.
Very much, I agree. And they got something there with him, but I implore them on one thing. My final closing remarks on this for the end of the show, for me on this match especially too, is do not turn this guy heel right away again, man. Let it run for a while there.
Oh, I hope they don't like at all. Like I wouldn't mind.
Now.
Yeah, let him be a face. Let him have like a really good WrestleMania moment next year before you turn him and all that. Like, yeah, like I mean, he himself obviously wanted this run. He literally said, I've never had a sustained run as a babyface to prove that I can get over as a top guy. Everybody, he's been a heel 90% of his career, and great at it. But he had a funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He had a funny thing. Did you see his after show comments that they did with him?
I did not.
It's really good. It's funny too. They had him being backstage interviewed. I think it was by Charlie or Kayla or one of those chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of going on about why he's their partner and things. And then they show up at the end of it. It was about 3 minutes. It's actually worth a listen for everybody out there to go check it out. He does a funny thing at the end of it. He's like, I actually like these guys. And he goes, and I might not actually turn on them. He goes, and then they go, that would be a first. And then they're playing it up a little bit there with how he always turns on everybody. I was like, well played on that one. I thought it was fun. Because that's always lingering in everybody's mind with him. He always turns on everybody.
Yeah, I'll go back and check that out. But
it's funny. It's worth it.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Like, no, he literally wanted to prove to himself that he can do it, and they gave him the ball, and he's ran with it ever since he came back as a face on SmackDown and had the whole program with Shane and did great things with him, and I'm excited to see what they do with him on Raw.
I agree.
So overall, what did you think of the show?
I thought there was a couple of decent parts to it. To me, it was a forgettable show for the most part again. And
obviously, better than last week because nothing could get much worse than that.
It was better than last week, but, there was some decent things on this one, but by no means was it a barn burner and something that would make me want to sit over there and ever think about it ever again.
The in-ring work is solid. Like, I can't say anything bad about that in the last few weeks, even with SmackDown. Like, they have fantastic wrestlers, and they do put on really good matches. But, like Dean said on Saturday, you can't just have matches for the sake of matches. Yeah, we know they're good, but we need to get more out of them. We need to get great storylines. And the fucking Lana thing is horrible. It's stupid. The Firefly Funhouse thing is coming to an end with Bray and Seth. So, that their money ticket is gone with that. I mean, what do you do with Seth after this? You know what I mean? Like, the money's going to be on SmackDown. That's where it's going to be at. So moving forward, what other programs do we have? Really, we don't. We have Aleister Black doing nothing. We have Cesaro. Is Cesaro even picked up on a show yet? Have we figured that out yet? He's on SmackDown. Okay.
Yeah. And he's wrestling a crown jewel to go be the job boy for that Mansoor kid.
Mansoor, Christ. The one time we see him is on these Saudi pay-per-views because he's a Saudi hero, and obviously he's gonna get the win. So
yeah,
that's a waste of a fucking match. Sorry guys, sorry people in Saudi Arabia. That's just, come on. I mean, we know you're paying for it, but Jesus Christ, it's the only time we ever see him on TV. Like, why don't you write to WWE and tell them how pissed off you are that Vince doesn't feature him on American television? So I mean, who does that leave on Raw? That leaves Drew McIntyre. Doesn't have a program yet. Kevin Owens, obviously. Who else? Seth Rollins. I'm trying to think of who else their big stars are. Who's the fucking Intercontinental Champion?
Nakamura.
Okay, now who's the U.S. champion then?
U.S. champion.
Oh, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, yeah.
How the hell can I forget that? So yeah, what are you gonna do with AJ after this? Is he gonna go right into a program with Kevin Owens? Is that what we're supposed to assume?
I guess that's where they're going with it. I think they take the belt off AJ and probably give it to Kevin, and AJ probably goes up against a feud with Rollins is where I think it might go.
I did like it when Kevin said he was like the face of the U.S. when he was the U.S. champion. Like
it was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. So I think moving forward after Crown Jewel, we probably should see some stories take shape once leading into Survivor Series and getting up into Rumble season in January. Hopefully we'll see a targeted direction of where these guys are going to go. So I'm not going to dismiss anything yet. I think there's enough good people on Raw that could carry the show. Obviously it's not superstar filled like SmackDown, but with Seth Rollins, with Kevin Owens, with AJ Styles, with Ricochet, with Drew McIntyre, with Aleister Black, like they do have enough guys there that can fill the spots and hopefully get some entertaining stuff going on. So I'm kind of excited for the future of Raw. I know you said it may end up being the C show, but given the fact how fucking shitty NXT has been, are you backtracking on that statement yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You still think NXT will figure it out?
I think they will over time. I don't think they're the C show yet.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So I like the show. I like the show for the matches. And that's just about it, honestly. I thought everything else sucked. The Ray and Shelton stuff was kind of cool until they kind of fucked it up by bringing Velasquez in. But the stories aren't good right now, and there's only so many matches I can watch that I'm like, yeah, once you've seen it all. Like, how many matches have we seen? Like, Dean's right. Matches don't really get me over anymore unless it's like a takeover or a pay-per-view that's a good quality match. But wrestling for the sake of wrestling doesn't do it anymore. They're going to have to do a better job at getting, compelling storylines. I know we say it every week, like we're broken records, but that's the key to wrestling, man. Make me feel emotionally involved, and get me interested in an angle. And this, if you think Lashley and fucking Rusev is that, nah, man, I ain't having any of that.
Nope, I couldn't agree anymore, man. That's a very accurate, very, very accurate statement with it.
So I'm gonna let you drop the bombshell because this is your deal here. Let everybody know what the future of the Reality Check Podcast Network is and who we're gonna be doing business with here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so we're really excited to announce it. We had a really great opportunity that was presented to us, and I've been working on it for a little bit there, and we've always looking to take it to the next level. And we've lost a couple of the shows there by things, and it's all in good things. The ones that we did, we were wanting to diminish anyways a little bit of what we were putting out, and kind of re-strategize with some of the things there. I think that would be an accurate way to put it, don't you?
Streamline was the word I used a couple weeks ago, but yeah.
Yep, and it was no knock on anybody else. Is that we wanted to do a couple of different projects that we had out there, and we don't want to oversaturate in a couple things. So, we've kind of streamlined our procedures on that over the last 4 to 5 weeks on some things that we've been looking at. And everybody that's on with us now is in with us for the long run, of course. And the guys that went off and did their own thing wanted to do their own thing. It wasn't on anything like that. It just worked out great. We would have loved to have had them a part of it, but they wanted to go do their own stuff, and we support that 1,000%. And great for them. we had a great thing going with Vamp. Vamp went out, had a great contract offer for Mike Tyson's people, and he announced it, so I can say it.
Yep. I wouldn't have turned that down, honestly.
He couldn't have. He couldn't have, and the podcast helped expose him to it. Them to him, and it was great, man. That was the intention when we started with Vamp, was to help him get on track.
That's exactly what we want to do. Was he was really hard, down on his luck, and
absolutely,
and needed help, and we're happy to help him out.
Yeah, and the Peanut Gallery wants to chime in on things, thinking it's something that's not there. And that was the intention from the start. We wanted to help him get his life on track, and I had a great time working with him. I'm happy for his success. We were glad to see him. The podcast was very successful in the few months that we did it with him and stuff. Dan's a great guy. We love working with Dan. Dan is awesome. Dan's a busy guy. It's been a little hard to nail him down on some stuff there due to his schedule there, but we're trying to streamline that a little bit there. Dan's not going anywhere. There's always a spot with Dan here anytime. We're still going to be doing some stuff. I just talked to him yesterday, on things, and he's just a busy guy too. So, with that said, is we don't need the big axe to bring a good product to people. We've always said that. We're in the market and in the hunt for a lot of different things that we're looking at, but we want to make sure they're the right fits if we bring on some bigger names. So with that said is, we wanted to take things to the next level. We wanted to be with people that could take us to the next level. Spreaker was a very nice place to work with, but the business side of it, I'll say this is, business wise, I like to be compensated fairly, and I don't like to sell lots of ads and not get the compensation that we deserve. And this is their business model. They're transparent with it. This is nothing against anybody else, or anything like that. I think Spreaker is wonderful, and I love the people over there. I think they're great. So we said, me and you had been talking about switching platforms to go to a lighter one. So we have been doing some research, and we wanted to align with the biggest agencies in the world and the biggest podcast streaming servers, the host servers. Yep. And on Women of Prayer, I got in contact with one of probably the top 2 or 3 largest ones in the world. And we started conversing back and forth, started talking. They took our material. They did a market analysis on what we pull out, what we do for our shows that are on the network. And they did a whole evaluation on our stuff to see if it was a product that they want, because they only have big shows. And typically,
it's not like you can go to, like Podbean,
sign up,
and sign up and pick a plan, and anybody that has a microphone can sign up and make a podcast. These people will decide if they're if you're the right fit for them, and they will contact you and give you an opportunity. It's not the other way around. Like this is a pretty big thing that's going on. So
and the reach that they have over everybody else is tremendously different. And what they put out a month, they put out 460 million downloads a month on their server.
It's incredible. They handle Wall Street Journal, they handle CBS
everything.
Radio, they handle iHeartRadio,
everything.
Yeah.
And just major stuff that they're doing, and they're pioneers in the business with their original company that they still fall under now. I think it's called Penelope, and I might get that. I might have said it wrong or spelled it wrong, but it's a really large entity that I always mess names up anyway. So
we know you're not good names.
Yeah, they have a really big server. They do 9.5 billion downloads a year on podcasts or their things. They have huge shows that are over there with them. And we had a meeting with them, and they presented us an opportunity, and they presented us an offer. They wanted to bring our brand over there, and they wanted to represent us, and they wanted to get us over on their server and bring our shows over with them. We're still the Reality Check Podcast Network, but they wanted our network. They want to promote us. They want to work with us. They want to put us out there on their stuff, and they want to help us reach the next level, because they see the value in what we've done, our downloads, our content that we produce, because they believed in what we were putting out there. So we're proud to announce that we are going to be taking our agreement and going with Megaphone. And if you want to look up Megaphone, they're one of the largest entities in the world.
Yep, Megaphone.fm. Their analytics are cutting edge.
2-3 years above everybody where they're at.
They're 2 years above everybody else. For the program and the presentation that we got yesterday was fantastic. They're using things that are cutting edge that no other platform right now that we know of is using. So I'm super excited to be on board with these guys. And they put you with advertising partners that will sell spots for you, right down to targeted demographics and zip codes, and age brackets. It's really cutting edge stuff. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great opportunity for us to branch out and move up to that next level. And I I can't be more excited to be working with them.
Yeah, and the reach that they have there for us, for our brands, is tremendous because, like I said, they have a 460 million people a month reach and download. So, you don't just get that anywhere. We're grateful for the opportunity that they saw the value in us to want to bring us over to come work with them. And, it probably should be in the next week, I think it is, that we'll probably go over and convert over. We're just finalizing a couple contractual things. And then, it's a done deal there. We're going to do it. And they want us and we want to be with them, and we're just finalizing a couple of agreements there over this next couple of days. But they want us over there, we want to be over there, and we're proud to be a part of a part of their network and all the stuff that they're doing over there, and the entity that they've created to be one of the top in the world, and they are one of the top in the world. So what does that mean for you guys as listeners? It means that we're going to be bringing you more content. We're going to be bringing you more stuff. It means that we're going to keep this thing that we're doing now. So as we streamline some of the things, all the shows are coming aboard there. They're all coming along, even the smaller ones, including us, and our shows that are mid-level shows that are growing. And they see the value to take us to the next level, and we're really honored to be a part of it with them. And we'd like to thank Megaphone for extending that opportunity to us to bring all of our shows and our network over there. And we're going to reach such a different demographic of people now and such a wider range because of their help and what they bring to the table. And it's just going to bring more shows and more content. And we're going to be probably dropping 2 new shows starting in the next month here for you guys. So even more content for everybody.
Yep, you couldn't have said that any better myself, man. I'm really excited to be working with these guys. And thank you to Transistor.fm for allowing us a trial run with them for a couple weeks. Nothing against those guys. I love their analytics and I love their reporting and the ease of use of their system and all that. It really is a good platform. But obviously, this is a deal that we can't pass up. So
yeah, Transistor's wonderful.
They really are. If this didn't come up, we'd probably end up staying with them. But yeah, this is just it's a no-brainer, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's a game changer for us. So I can't wait to get involved with the good people over there and start working together and start growing this brand even more.
Yeah, and it's going to bring a lot of partnerships that's going to be available, a lot of things that you're going to see with our material that's out there, and it's not just wrestling that we're doing, as we've always just been doing wrestling on all the shows on the network. So it's going to take the smaller shows with smaller demographics or harder genres, and it's going to be able to help them reach larger masses. And it's going to help us bring more content to everybody too, and more material over, because they want more material, and it's part of our agreement that we can bring as much content as we like over there with them, and they encourage it. And that's something we like, that they honor us. We have creative control over our product. Ultimately, it's their server and their net and their stuff that they're doing, but they're not handcuffing us on anything. They want us to create more content because they know and believe in what we can put out, and they know that it's a mutually beneficial thing for everybody when we do that. So we're going to have 2 new shows coming up in November, and I'm excited to announce them in a week or 2. We'll talk about them more. They're both very good concepts, and it's going to be fun.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it, man. So that really doesn't affect you guys at all. It's gonna be the same feed. You don't have to do anything. You have to sign up for anything. It's just like this. It'll be a seamless transition over there. So
you won't even know the difference.
You won't even know it even happens. So, but yeah, there you go, man. Thanks for showing up, man. I always love talking Raw with you.
Always, brother.
We'll be back on Wednesday night, Thursday morning for Wednesday Night War Show. So. What do you, other than that, what you just plugged, you got anything else going on you want to talk about, or you want to throw out your email and your Twitter again?
Yeah, just hit us up at WWR Podcast there on Twitter. DMs are open. Got a lot of nice messages from people lately, which I always encourage and appreciate. And, it's great chatting with everybody. I always tell everybody I'm an open book. If you want to talk, reach out. And I had some great conversations, a lot of people that we've been doing. We had a great new Monday motivation that came out today. It's a really great topic. It's about doing what you're meant to do in life, not what you're doing because you have to do it. And it's a really solid message out there that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's some interesting stuff. And I'm going to throw out. I have another wrestling show coming out. This is going to drop Tuesday night. And myself and Richie did another cool wrestling show. We looked at Eric Bischoff thing, some of the things behind the scenes stuff out there. And we just had a fun wrestling talk there for about an hour with everybody. So that's going to drop Tuesday night late. After this, I still just got to edit and put it together. So this will probably go up definitely before it. So check it out on Wrestling with Reality. And then check out Tackling Reality on Friday. And then, of course, every Sunday, we're all back for our Sunday show, man, like we always do, and have a kick-ass time and have some fun and just go out and support the other shows on the network, man. We got Christopher Inspired with Christopher, Just Thinking with Stan, The People on the Stairs with Paul and Stan. We got The Spirit Show, The Spirit Side. We got Rad Turtles. We got everybody that's out there doing great stuff. Hopefully we'll get some content with Dan here over the next couple of weeks again and get him going on a more consistent level to slow down, which is hard for Dan Severn to slow down, which is great to see with him, but love Dan to death, and hopefully we'll get some stuff out with him and some great stuff that's just going to be coming in the future. So we're really excited for the opportunity and look forward to going from there, buddy.
Yep, absolutely right, man. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's at RadRab Gaming. Follow my gaming channel on Twitch. Any video game fans out there, I do stream every Tuesday night, which will be right a little bit here in an hour after recording this tonight. But check me out on twitch.tv/RadRobGaming. Check out my YouTube channel, growing every single week. I'm getting new subs every single day. Check out my Rad Rob Gaming channel on YouTube. If you want to tweet the show and follow us on Twitter, it's at RadTurtlesPod. Send us an email at RadTurtlesWrestling@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/RadTurtlesWrestling. And our t-shirt store is ProWrestlingTees.com/RadTurtlesWrestling. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. And John and I will see you back for the Wednesday Night War show. So thanks for all your support, guys. Good to see you, John. I'll see you in a couple days. And the rest of you guys, have a next good couple of days. And we'll see you for the Wednesday Night War show, only here on the Reality Check Podcast Network. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening to the RTW Raw Review Show. Once again, you can tweet the show at RadTurtlesPod or email us at RadTurtlesWrestling@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. We appreciate all of your support. You have been listening to the RTW Raw Review Show, only here on the Reality Check Podcast Network.